Welcome Amakhosi Network, welcome to the channel. Today we give an update and a player rating of the game that we saw and some tactical changes that we saw Nabi make and some positive feedback that we will give certain players who have shown growth in the last few weeks. But before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe. You know what to do, guys. Please subscribe to the channel. Subscribe if you enjoy this. If you watch this, please just subscribe. It will not hurt you. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, first rating, Vuma. Vuma, I'm going to give a 6. Some people even want to give Vuma a 6.5 and a 7 because there are some critical saves he made. But I am going to give him 6 because I would have given him a lower rating because I feel like a keeper is an important part in a defense, is confidence, and an important part in the defense comfort, right? And Upvuma being so shaky makes the defense trust him less. It will mean that the defense, when the defenders are in a tricky position, they won't be willing to pass Obvuma to like lessen the pressure because they'll feel like he'll make a mistake. And that's how I feel about him. Whenever we pass the ball back to Obvuma, I get scared. I get so scared because I feel like he's going to do something wrong. And that is not how we're meant to be feeling with our keeper. Our keeper is supposed to be the best defender in essence in our back line. He's meant to be the best defender. But anyway, then we go to Umashiani. Umashiani, I'm going to give a 6 to 6.5. Decent performance. There's nothing that I can pick up that I said he did wrong. They weren't really attacking the left side, so I can't really judge too much of his defensive abilities. But in his offensive play, in his passing, in his moving off the ball, in his creating space, he did well. I think he did really well in that sense. I saw him more involved in this game than I saw in the free agents game. In the free agents game, it felt like he was scared of the ball somewhat. But in this game, he looked very comfortable and he was being used. His side was being used. That's the best way I can say it. They were passing him. He was getting the ball. You could see that the team is comfortable with the ball going to his side because there's production on his side. So that's what I'll give you. Miguel and Dudley, I'm going to give a 7 each. They both put in a good shift. Frostler, I'm going to give a 7.5. Proper defending, proper attack. His combination with Lepo is very interesting. Despite Lepo not having shown an ability to come back and cover Frostler in any way, but it just doesn't feel like Frostler's side is ever really exposed. So I have to go back and see in my reviews how when Frostler overlaps. I want to see, is it Thabo Cele who fills up that position? What happens there? But the one thing I did pick up that is happening is Miguel is somewhat shifting to the right to cover Frostler. And then Thabo Cele is kind of occupying a centre-back position. I'm not sure if anyone has seen that. I've seen it more in build-ups. In build-ups, Thabo Cele tends to come in and slot in amongst the centre-backs somewhere there just to create a different dynamic. But I don't know if that's how they play when Frostler does his overlapping run. I'll just have to look at that just to see and understand what is the pattern of play. Is it a thing where Thabo Cele drops into the centre back, Miguel goes to the right? I want to just see how they're doing that. Because the one thing, if you're watching when Chippa United was gaining strength in the first half, is that when they were hitting long balls, it felt like our defenders were stretched. So I thought that was because of also Frostler going up front. Because whenever they would play these long balls, it felt like it was only Miguel and Dudley at times. You felt like you couldn't see Mashiani and Frostler were a bit late, and that was one of my worries about that. But anyway, Samkelo Zwane, I've heard people say he played great. I've heard people say he did this and that. Personally, in my opinion, he did not do anything. He did not do anything for the position he played. I felt like Thabo Cele was the player who I was seeing doing things. Samkelo Zwane was playing simple passes. Is simple passes bad? No, simple passes is not bad. But sometimes we could see when Thabo Cele involves himself in play, how easy it makes it for Abo Serino and Abo Lollipop, etc. But Samkelo Zwane was choosing just to play these safe passes, and they didn't really help us. And I hear people say he was playing a lot of forward passes. Maybe I was watching a different game. I didn't see a lot of forward passes. I just felt like when I saw the difference between Samkelo Zwane being in the game and Matlo, for me, it was a very big difference. I saw what Matlo was doing on the field. I saw him combining with the attackers. I saw him defending. I saw him doing all of these things. Chiefs looked like a machine when Matlo came on. We just had a new sense of our midfield just became alive. You could see certain players we couldn't see throughout the game. So that was what I saw there. And then let's talk about Thabo. But I think the rating I'll give Samkelo Zwane is 5. For me, this is my rating. You guys will see what you give him. Thabo, I'm going to give a 6 to 6.5. Decent showing here and there, but like I say, he was losing ball in critical areas under basically no pressure. No pressure whatsoever. He was somewhat losing the ball, and I just didn't like that because, like I say, those things are on a different day we get punished, and we cry because I think he was losing the ball a lot when we were still 1-0 up. So that the Chippa United score, we talk a different game, we talk extra time, all of these things, penalties. So that's the one thing I picked up there. Then Serino, not the best of Serino, but Serino doing Serino things, top quality goal, top movement, but I think it wasn't his best performance, but I'm going to give him a 7 because of his top quality goal. But why I'm saying it's not his best is that I just don't think it's either Chippa United nullified his movement or he was just lacking seeing his certain of his players, because generally Serino is able to identify players a bit better and identify a pass a bit better. So this game he was trying, you could see him, but his passes were more sideways, more predictable. There was no release. So for example, Lollipop does a lot of late runs. I just didn't see Serino trying to find him. I didn't see Serino trying to use Morris as the hold-up 9. It's those things like that. So maybe I'm overthinking it, but that's what I saw. Modi, I'm also going to give a 7. Hardworking, proper goal, he set up the penalty, he set up the final goal. Proper shift from Modi. I can't take anything away from him. In the past 5 or so games, he's been in hot form. The only thing that Modi we've been crying about is putting the ball in the back of the net, because in the past 5 games, he's the player who's received the best opportunities. He received one-on-ones, he's received tap-ins, he's received so many chances, and he's just not been putting the ball in the back of the net. But thank you that today he got to do that. And I'm just hoping that he makes the same thing. He just scores again. That is all we were hoping for, that he just puts the ball more in the back of the net. Because right now, I think he has 4 goals this season. 3 goals, this season. He's almost close to his goals of last season. So I think it's a good thing. In every season, you're meant to improve your last season. So he still has enough games. What I expect from Modi is that as a left forward, I expect him to have goals of 8 in the season. Even though me personally, I prefer 8 in the league and then 4 to 5 in cup competitions. But anyway, that's just me. Maybe I want too much. But anyway, then we'll talk about Tashreeq Morris. Lost a lot of balls, but in moments played his role right, took the right shots, made good decisions in certain moments. But generally, first half, he was the one messing up our moves, if we have to be honest. He was passing the wrong person. He was passing like having bad passes, losing the ball, things like that. But I think as the game went, he started doing the basics a bit better. And his presence amongst the defenders, I think, is the biggest difference. If there's one thing I can give Utashrik Morris that he's brought to Chiefs, is that he disrupts the centre backs and the defensive midfielders. They struggle with him. I just don't think Morris is at the fitness that Nabi and them want him to be, because he can't do it very consistently. He can't put that pressure on the defenders very consistently. He runs out of gas. But other than that, I'm just going to give him a rating of 5.5 to 6. Then the next player is going to be... so I think overall it was a good performance, but the next player is Lollipop. Lollipop, I am going to give a 6.5. He didn't do too much in this game, but good touches, good plays. It's one of those games where a part of me felt like I wanted him to do a bit more, just because I don't think Chippa was dangerous at the back. But anyway, I think he put in a good shift. The penalty is basically his move, and he had good touches. So 6.5, some will say 7 as well. But yeah, mine is 6.5. Subs, I can't really give much ratings for the subs, like Abu Cross and stuff like that. I'm not going to give them ratings really, because they played decently when they came on. Like I said, Matlo changed the game. Cross just did his job. Mfundo Vilagazi came and added an extra spark to the game. He made the game enjoyable actually. Towards the end, it was nice seeing us be a confident team. But yeah, that's my rating. And then for Nabi's his rating I'm going to give him is a 6.5. I'm going to give Nabi a 6.5 because everything he did worked out. Playing Mashiani worked out. Playing Samkelo Zwane, people are arguing it worked out. For me, I think that was a bad decision. I would have rather Nabi play Blom in the middle, just to see how Blom frees up Utaboqele, because I just don't feel like Samkelo Zwane gives Utaboqele much confidence. And Blom may be a DM, but I think he could do much better with the forward pass and controlling the middle than what I saw. So I feel like it may be a lost opportunity for us to have seen what Blom can do in the middle with a more creative midfielder. But yeah, that is what it is. So that is it for me, Amakhosi. The big thing our players I wanted to shout out is Happy Mashiani, solid game. Frostler, solid game. Those two, I think, had good games. Frostler had actually one of his better games this season. Then other than that, I can't really talk too much about the other players that came on. I think everyone had an okay or to decent performance, but Mashiani and Frostlight just have to get good mentions there. And Modi, actually, let me not leave out Modi. Modi has to get a good mention. Taboqele, a lot of people are giving him praise. I don't think it was one of his best games. One would argue it's one of his best games in the Kaizer Chiefs uniform, but knowing what I know about Taboqele, I know this is not his level. He is better than this. I have seen him be better than this against international players. So I know the player that everyone is seeing today is not the player that Taboqele really is. Taboqele is a proper midfielder. Is he a general? I don't know. I can't really speak to a general. When he was younger, it looked like he was. But now, in looking at him in a Chiefs jersey, I can't see. I just think he needs another proven midfielder next to him, and that will take out even the best out of him. So that's the one thing I picked up about Taboqele. Tell me what you guys think. I'm a close.